So I recently returned to Guild Wars 2 and it has been a sharp contrast from when I returned to another MMO,
Destiny 2.
that was earlier this year.
Indeed.
I've got to say Guild Wars 2 has been a much better experience for new or returning players, and I have been enjoying what's offered.
We have a lot to talk about, don't we?
I have been enjoying the story for the most part, love being able to play a necromancer, I think the horizontal progression with the mastery system is brilliant. This has got to be the best iteration of mounts I've ever seen in an MMORPG, and I have been completely addicted to World vs World, where 3 servers are locked in constant war over huge battlefields.
Dismissed.
So I played Guild Wars 2 with the masses at launch. As usual, everyone I knew quit about a month or 2 after launch, which is just typical for MMOs.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I did dabble in the game a little bit over time, but now I've made a proper return to see what's going on in 2023. And you know what? I like what I've experienced so far. So much so that I've already clocked over 400 hours on my return.
Wow.
At its core, Guild Wars 2 is designed with a different philosophy to a lot of other modern MMORPGs. While a lot of other games focus on more vertical progression that has you progressing upwards and funneled into the latest endgame content, endlessly chasing power and new equipment as new patches come out, Guild Wars 2 focuses a lot more on horizontal progression. Everything in the game has a purpose. After I reach a max level, I'm leveling up my glider, unlocking and improving new mounts, ships, or fishing skills through the mastery system. I love this system. You progress it by simply earning experience points and completing challenges. I think it was unlocking and upgrading new mounts that really gave me my first shot of dopamine, and that got me addicted into venturing further into Guild Wars 2. Every mount has different uses. The raptor can long jump, springers can jump really high, skimmers can float above water, and so on. They can be upgraded to reach their full potential with masteries. They're really fun, and I'm constantly swapping between mounts to traverse different parts of the world. Sorry, little plug, if you enjoy RPG content like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. I'd like to do an MMORPG series where I return to some of the biggest MMOs every year, and see how they're all holding up. Then maybe at the end of the year, rank them. Thank you. So starting out as a completely new experience, you'll be thrown into the original base story and world that's about 11 years old now. Looking at the world map, there's loads of open world objectives that will grant you experience points. Now I know what you're thinking, ugh, not open world. Now I'm not really a fan of the generic open world formula you see in a lot of modern open world games, but I think it's decent here. You can earn some easy experience points for uncovering new locations, waypoints and vistas that might require you to climb environments to reach a new awesome viewpoint. Having access to any mounts makes the open world elements much more enjoyable. There are also random events that you can take part in. Events are pretty dynamic and may change the zone or lead to a larger, more epic event. The only thing I'm iffy about are heart markers, which require you to do chores in the vicinity to complete. But throughout the game's expansions, the purpose of these heart markers change, with the developers experimenting and trying to make them more enjoyable. But at the core of your experience will be the main story. Basically, you deal with the politics of the different races of Guild Wars 2, which is your own personal story made from your own personal choices. Then eventually you form your own guild of legendary heroes, the Dragon's Watch, and you end up hunting elder dragons.
If it's not an elder dragon, it's something else.
In the base game you see story cinematics or dialogue similar to cinematics like Final Fantasy. But the game evolves over time to dialogue taking place in real time. For the most part, I quite enjoyed the stories. There were definitely some stinky story missions, but a lot of the characters grew on me over time. My favourite is easily Ritlock, a badass and a tribune of the Char race. This guy just casually wields a legendary human sword. I've always found the Char fascinating. They weren't always allies or good guys. The Char's very home city is built upon the ruins of Ascalon, a human city the Char conquered in Guild Wars 1. There are 5 races in total: humans, the geeky little Asura, Norn, which are pretty much Vikings, the plant people Sylvari, and those badass Char. Character customization is pretty decent, and you can freely dye the colour of your equipment once you unlock the dyes. Guild Wars has built up quite a lot of content and expansions now. Heart of Thorns is set in a jungle biome that focuses on verticality, but you can unlock your own glider to help traverse the more vertical regions. My favourite expansion pack so far might have to be Path of Fire, which has you in the desert region, requiring mounts and chasing after Balthazar, a human god gone rogue. Icebrood Saga is more of a mini expansion, which at first I really enjoyed. You get to party with the Char, who have their own metal bands and concerts, but by the end it felt like the developers ran out of time with Icebrood, and it felt a bit lacking and rushed. There are seasonal story chapters that tie the story up between expansion packs. You might think to skip these, but I will say these seasonal story chapters add new locations to the game world, and these seasonal story chapters can also be earned in-game. You don't need to get your wallet out. For the most part, they're pretty good.
It's showtime.
One of my favourite parts of Guild Wars 2 was the actual Guild Wars, World vs. World. This is where 3 servers go to war over huge battlefields and objectives, and it has its own progression system and rewards. World vs. World has a strong sense of community with all the guilds and players on your server coming together under the leadership of a commander. It can be a pretty amazing experience when all 3 servers clash together. Gotta say, world bosses are a pretty cool experience too. I've enjoyed repeating them for loot or trying to get all the achievements. Just like in World vs. World, armies of players come together under the leadership of a commander and battle giant dragons and monsters. It's kind of hard to tell what's even going on at times with so many players on screen at once, but I love it. Between World vs. World and world bosses, I feel like this is what MMORPGs should be all about. Just that sense of being something larger than yourself, being part of a living world or community. And one last thing I want to mention is Guild Wars 2's achievement system. Now, I love going the extra mile for an achievement, but I love how Guild Wars 2 does achievements. Basically, achievements give you achievement points, and every 500 achievement points, you get extra special rewards. An actual reward system for your achievements. I'm really close to the 10,000 point reward. It's a long-term goal and a load of currency I can't wait to get my hands on. Between this achievement system and the masteries, this game knows how to get me addicted, and there's plenty of stuff I want to work on. It's not perfect, the occasional stinky story mission, but overall I'm enjoying myself with Guild Wars 2. The base game is free to play and the expansions are buy to play with no subscription fees, so you can't go wrong with giving it a try. Just bear in mind the original base content is now 11 years old, but for now Guild Wars 2 in 2023 gets a thumbs up. I want to have a look at Elder Scrolls Online next, but to be honest I'm a little bit addicted to this right now, so stay tuned. Peace for now.